Hey everyone, it's Alison Heikkila. Thank you so much for joining me. Do you have any idea what this is? Maybe, maybe not. Well, my family and I love to play board games, especially my son and I. We play board games all the time. And this is the leftover bits from a board game that they recently got me. I think it was called Tea Witches. So you know how you have to punch out like the coins or the pawns or whatever? This game had all of these really cool like negative spaces left, and I thought that they would be really great for using on a gel plate. You can see here that I've already used this one because I love me some geometric shapes like that, and yeah, they're really great for it. So I thought that it would be fun to play with these today. You can ignore the colors, they don't matter. It's just about the shapes. Isn't that fab? So we're going to use these today. Never throw this stuff out if you're a gel printer like I am, because my goodness, they're going to be really great to use. Okay, I've got my 8x10 plate. The reason it is this color is because I've used alcohol inks on it and they stained. That does not affect the use of the plate itself. Just a little harder to see through. I mean, you can still see through it, but it's just colorized. It's not going to come off on my print. It's just stained. I've got also lots of Winsor & Newton Galleria acrylics. You can use whatever you like. I'm just in the mood to use these colors. I've got a couple more on the side, and then I've got a couple of acrylic paints. Not a fan of Artist Loft, but it's great for pulling up the print. I don't really use it to make the print though. And then I've got my Blick Studio acrylic and unbleached titanium. Love these. These are great. Not a fan. I won't buy it again. Just not my favorite. Yeah, so we're gonna get started. I think I want to work with a little bit of cadmium yellow medium hue. I'll have links to the paints and all of my supplies in the description box below. If you're looking at this on my blog, then you'll see them there. I've got permanent alizarin crimson. We use that. And we'll just start there. I've got my brayer. This is a 6-inch brayer from Speedball. And I've got a journal here. I'm going to start using a journal for my roll-off prints. I love using roll-off prints in my card making and when I'm making ephemera and things like that, but I also really want to start using it in a journal, just as a base to kind of start things off. Just going to brayer this color out, like so. See, now I have the start of a journal page. Okay, I'm going to put this first piece on here. Again, the colors that are on here don't matter. It's really just about the shape. And I've got some white copy paper. Now this is thicker, okay? It's cardboard because they're for game pieces. So it's going to be a little trickier to get into those spots. But you want to really just work your fingers into those holes as best as you can. And what's cool is you can pull this up and check to see, like, see, I'm really not getting anywhere. However, the cardboard might be pulling up the paint nicely on its own. So we'll see. We might not need to go crazy with this. Let's take a look. All right, that is the start of something that could be very cool. Let's pull this up and see what happens. Oh, look at that. That is really nice. That is very nice. Okay, let's put a piece of paper on here. No, you know what? I'm going to use sheet music for this. I have a piece of sheet music here. Let's lay this in half. Okay, we have an oboe piece. I'm going to lay this down. You might notice that I have a piece of acrylic underneath my plate. That's so that I can move it around if I need to. If I need to pick this up and flip it over onto my paper, I can do that. And I get these from Joggles. You can get them in a plethora of different sizes, and they're fantastic. It's like a thin acrylic block, right? If you're a stamper, it's just a thin version of that, and it's great for holding your plates. Look at that. That is very cool. I love that. Super quick and easy. I moved the plate out of the way, and this paint on here is still a little wet. I'm going to take this piece that we started with before, and I'm going to just lay this on here, see if I can pull up any of this paint. If I can't, not a big deal. I just figure, why waste the paint? Let's see. We got a little bit there. That's good. That's the start of something cool. It's got another layer, and I like it. Okay, let's make another print. See, and that's why I like to move my plate around and have acrylic on there. Okay, let's go with Prussian blue. And I want to use my yellow again. You get a nice green in the middle. Okay. Rolling this out. Okay, I'm going to flip the page on my journal here because I don't want to cover up that red that I had going. Okay. And now we're going to get, let's get this one. This has a bunch of different shapes in it, and I think that that's pretty cool. So we're going to place this down on here like so. Take a piece of copy paper. This is going to help connect that cardboard to the plate, and it will help pull up some of that paint as we saw in the first print that we did. So I'm not really worried about getting in between too much. I just want to make sure that there's a good connection. A little bit there, really not what I'm after, but that's fine. Okay, now we've got that. Take another piece of sheet music, and we're going to lay this on here. Now you could let this dry and then put a pickup layer, but since this is still so wet, we really don't need one. Ooh, look at that. That still has a lot on here. That's cool. And here is the print. I like that. That's pretty neat. Okay, so since there's still plenty on here, I'm going to take another plate and just make sure that it's dry. This is just, you can see it's just another acrylic plate. Acrylic thing. The word is escaping my mind at the moment. I'm just going to dry this off because then we'll pull it with something else. A lot of the yellow has been picked up. I don't know if it's obvious for you on camera. You can see there's a little bit here, but not too much. A lot of it was picked up. Okay, let's go in with the Unbleached titanium. And we'll just roll that out. You don't want to roll too much because you don't want to pick up what's dried underneath. Probably put a little too much down. You see how you can see the shapes there? That's good. So actually I put a pretty good amount. It's hard to kind of figure out how much you need because I switch between my plates all the time. Sometimes I use my 3x5, sometimes I use my 8x10, you know, it always changes. So because of that, remembering how much paint you need can be a little tricky. All right, let's see what we got with this one. Ooh, that's pulling up some red. It's pretty grungy looking. Look at that. Oh, I like this a lot. See, this is why I like Unbleached titanium, because it automatically makes everything feel grungier. as opposed to white, which makes everything kind of stark. This kind of ages it. That is very cool. I'm loving this. That's great. What a cool print. And, you know, you don't have to look at it as this whole thing. You can look at it into small pieces. Maybe you're making ATCs, you know, so you can get a bunch out of here. Maybe you're making cards and you can get 2 or 3 out of here. Just depends on what you want to do. But I really like that. I like this transition too, from a lot of the Prussian blue down to the yellow with touches of red. That's cool. Now we're going to start with some burnt sienna opaque. And I think we're going to finish it off with some Winsor violet. I think that that's going to be kind of an interesting combination. We'll see. And if we don't like it, that's okay. We can do something with it later on to change how it looks. All right, let's get into this burnt sienna. You can see that the burnt sienna is definitely more opaque than the Winsor violet. Okay, new page in my book. And I'll wind up layering lots of things onto these pages. But for now, it's really just to get the paint off of the brayer. Okay, how about this one? These are all squares. I think that this is going to be cool. We could kind of make it even. Let's do that. All right, new piece of paper. This is going to be much easier to pull up paint because those holes are so big. Okay, let's see. All right, that is good. We can cut these down and use them as ephemera, extra things. We can stamp on them. They're good to start with. We're going to pull that up. I need some more sheet music. I think this is going to be kind of interesting. I like these colors together. All right. Lay this down and see what we wind up with. Nice. I like it. They kind of look like TVs, don't they? Like old TVs, right? Put something in there, a little critter, a couple of knobs. I don't know. That's pretty cool. I like it. Now we have a lot of paint left on here. I could have let this sit on here longer, but I wanted to have something that I can pull up. So I'm going to take a little bit of Prussian blue and get it down here. Not too much, just a little. And just kind of work it in. That's good. Leave it like that. Add some Prussian blue to this. It's looking pretty cool so far. I'm going to let this dry. And then we're going to put some unbleached titanium on top and see what we come up with. Okay, I'm rolling out the unbleached titanium. You can see my squares underneath. That's good. We don't have too much paint on here. And now we've got our sheet music again. This way. Not that it matters really, because it doesn't. Okay. You can see I laid it onto the game piece board because I've got some squares on here. It's amazing how quickly your desk fills up with prints and extra bits of things when you're gel printing. Okay, let's see what we've got. A little bit more. If it's cool to the touch, it's not fully dry. Now, sometimes I don't want it to be fully dry, but a lot of times you do. So if you can feel that it's kind of cool, then you're going to want to wait longer if you want to pull everything up. Look at that. See? Oh, that's cool. Love this. That is very cool. I like it a lot. I really think that I'm going to wind up cutting these pieces out, using this as something completely different, but these 6 squares here I'll probably use as squares. I don't know, we'll see. So what do you think, guys? I think that this is fun. If you've got some board games, grab those leftover bits and use them to your advantage. Make some really cool prints. I love this one. This is my favorite from today. Super easy, right? Look at that. Oh. Right here. So good. Yeah, this one's my favorite from today. Don't I have another one somewhere? I feel like I do. Well, we have this one that we started. Ah, here it is. Look at that. So fun. That's it for me. I just wanted to give you some inspiration on something fun that you can perhaps find in your home and use on your gel plate. I hope that you give it a try. Look around, see what kind of stuff you've got that you can use on your plates, and grab a book that you can paint in, brayer off onto, and then do something fun with. I've got some really cool ideas for this book, and maybe you'll see them eventually when I get to it. That's it for me today. Thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be back real soon with another one. Be well, stay safe. Peace out.